And today we're welcome to the day two of the Women's Day series. Today we're going to talk about how to stop beating yourself up and how to be kind to yourself. And I'm super excited because I think this was one of my biggest breakthroughs. And before I jump into that, let me ask you guys, and for that, let me see you guys. Um, how many of you, and you can show me by giving me a digital thumbs up, how many of you actually are very critical of yourselves in your head? Like you're always beating yourselves up, bashing yourselves up for the tiniest mistake that you make. You are so critical of yourself. How many of you would that be? Give me like a thumbs up so I know. Yeah, yeah. A lot of us, right? Or write a yes in the chat box if that's easier for you all. Awesome. Awesome. And how many of you are kind to yourselves and not so critical? I would love to see that set of us as well. Not much now. Yes, yes, you are kind. That's amazing. That's amazing. So I know maximum of us are, critical. Some of us have learned to be kind. But what's important is even the people like me who learned to be kind started off as extremely critical. And let's wonder, or let's really dive into, why are we so critical about ourselves, right? So today's whole session is going to be about getting into why do we love beating ourselves up? How is it helping us? And how can we change it? Now, before we get into that, I have a little bit of a surprise for you guys. So I'm not sure so many of you know, and I'm aware that some of you are already, geared up for it. But from the 15th of March, we have the 10 days gut reset program starting. Now, how many of you are aware there's a gut reset that we're also doing at the House of Happiness Women's Day series? Just give me a yes in the chat box if you are aware. Let me see how many of y'all are aware. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. Quite a lot of y'all are already aware. Waiting for it, excited, amazing, amazing. And some of you might not be aware, but the let me share why this gut reset has suddenly become part of the House of Happiness series, right? So I did the gut reset because, as you can see, I had started getting, some amount of acne, and this has been going on for 10 months. Hair fall I've had, I think, for 2 decades, and a whole lot of digestive issues, flatulence or indigestion sometimes when you eat some sorts of foods. And I realized that something needed to change. And 2024 is the year where I am not only interested in become holistically happy and healthy, I am committed, which means I don't do things when they're convenient and easy. I do it irrespective. And in that promise to myself to really commit to my health and happiness, I reached out to one of our tribe members, Amisha, because I was aware she's a nutritionist, and I, decided to work with her. And she took me through a beautiful 10 days program. Now, I was very skeptical, right? Because I was like, oh, in the gut reset, they're going to tell me, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this, don't eat that. And, life is going to be so difficult and it's going to be so hard to follow, especially for someone like me who's so lazy, who has like zero willpower, or so I used to think. But when I started working with Amisha, it was super easy. It was super fun. Yes, there were a lot of restrictions, but here's the good part, because I had already mentally decided I am committed no matter what. I quit tea and coffee, which I was very, very fond of. I became vegan for those 10 days. I was eating a lot of salads, a lot of fruits, a lot of healthy meals, but with a lot of variables and options available, not like feeling deprived. And it was super easy, and I'm seeing the results. Like my hair fall has almost stopped, which is like ridiculous because I'm used to it for 20 years, and suddenly to see no hair fall, it's like wow, right? My skin has started clearing up. This, what you're seeing, is much better than what it was like a month ago. And that's where I decided, I said, if this has worked wonders for me, if it's improved my sleep, my energy levels, the clarity of mind that I'm having, it's made my intuition better. I said, this is something I want our tribe members to also get access to. And that's how I decided this Women's Day is a great way to start. Men, women are both, of course, invited. I always say that. But I made it part of this Women's Day series, and I want to offer it to you all. Now, Amisha has been fantastic and super, super generous, and she has completely waived off all her consulting charges. The only charges you have is for the products that you will have to, purchase, but that's a very small bit. But the benefits that you're going to get are boundless, and how it will start recreating your health, setting a very strong foundation for your immunity, for your body to be able to absorb the nutrients you're already eating, is amazing. And the best part is Amisha is amazing because she really handheld me. She looked at each plate, everything I was eating, and supported me, which made it super, super fun and easy. So I'm going to bring on Amisha for the next 10 minutes, only 10 minutes. She's going to come and share, who is the gut reset for? What are the kind of symptoms if you are having these? Then the gut reset is most definitely for you. And what are the benefits that you can expect? So, with that, guys, give me some love. This is how we show love on the online meetings. So, give me some love and let's welcome Amisha. Hi, Amisha. Would you
Hi,
please
Janki.
introduce yourself? So, Amisha has been a nutritionist for Amisha has been a nutritionist for over 15 years. She's worked with thousands of people. And one thing I can definitely tell you, not only because she's a client and now, of course, a friend and my nutritionist, she's extremely committed and caring. And when I work with someone, I want to see how committed they are to themselves and to me. And she fit both of those very, very nicely. So, welcome, Amisha. So happy to have you
Thank
here.
you.
And please quickly share with us before we jump into how to be kind
Yes, yes,
to
yes.
ourselves, how to be also kind to our bodies, because unless you're kind to your body, you're putting in all the sorts of junk which doesn't help. So over to you, Amisha.
Thank you so much, Janki, for welcoming here. And hi, everybody. I welcome you all for this wonderful gut reset 10 days. And it's just like, last time, just last story, Janki ended with the cobbler story. कि थोड़ा सा छोटा सा होल था and he did not take care and it just ended so big. So similarly हमारे health में भी it is same कि थोड़ा सा छोटा सा अगर damage होता है तो it takes a big thing. So I'll just quickly share what is gut reset and what we are supposed to do in that. Yeah, can you see my screen? Okay. Okay. So what does gut reset? Gut means that means the from the esophagus to the end of the intestine when we just start our the mouth part the हमारा जो हम खाना शुरू करते हैं उससे वो पूरा डाइजेशन प्रोसेस में जाके इट एंड्स इन द इंटेस्टाइन एंड इट्स रिमूव्ड थ्रू द एनस सो द होल पैसेज इज आवर गट and it is it comprises of all the gut bacteria in it and that is equivalent to almost 3 kg of your body weight. Next. Yeah. So what does a gut reset mean? Gut generally जो होता है हमारे गट में we have friendly and unfriendly bacteria. बट जो फ्रेंडली बैक्टीरिया हमारे होते हैं वो इनिशियली बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं बट एंड अनफ्रेंडली बैक्टीरिया यानी जो हार्मफुल बैक्टीरिया है वो बहुत कम होते हैं मात्रा में. बट जब हम इन्फ्लेमेशन होता है यानी जो स्वेलिंग होता है गट में तो उसके वजह से हमारे जो फ्रेंडली बैक्टीरिया है उसका कम्युनिटी कम हो जाता है एंड अनफ्रेंडली बैक्टीरिया का कम्युनिटी बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है. जो बेनिफिशियल बैक्टीरिया है वो हमारे कम हो जाते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द लाइफस्टाइल दैट वी आर फॉलोइंग. Yeah. So why a gut reset is needed? And this gut reset is designed to help you potentially manage your metabolic parameters. यानी अगर हमारा metabolism rate high होता है तो automatically हमारा weight maintain होता है. It helps to maintain healthy weight effectively. It supports your normal function of your digestive system. It will boost your mood to be more positive. It will support your immune system. It will improve the quality of your sleep and it will also build a healthy habit. So how does the gut get compromised? So first we need to see that अल्कोहल रिफाइंड शुगर जो हम लोग बहुत सारी चीजों में इन्वॉल्व आता है. कैफीन देन ऑयल्स एंड सैचुरेटेड फैट्स प्रोसेस्ड फूड्स डेयरी मीट पुअर स्लीप एंड लाइफस्टाइल ये सारे फैक्टर्स के वजह से हमारा गट कॉम्प्रोमाइज होता है एंड आई एम श्योर देयर विल बी मोर देन वन टिक इन दिस टेबल फॉर अस. एटलीस्ट डेयरी तो आता ही आता है अगर इफ यू आर नॉट टेकिंग द अदर फूड्स. Processed food is also there in the list. देर आर ऑल्सो हिडन शुगर्स। जनरली हम लोग बोलते हैं कि चाय कॉफी में तो हम लोग शुगर नहीं खाते, हम लोग गुड़ वाली चाय पीते हैं। जनरली आई एम नॉट ईटिंग शुगर। सो देर आर हिडन शुगर्स एज वेल। जैसे सॉसेस हम लोग यूज करते हैं, ड्रेसिंग्स हम लोग यूज करते हैं, ऑरेंज जूसेस है, बार है, एप्पल साइडर विनेगर है, देन टोमेटो सूप है, जो हमारे बाहर के पैकेट्स वगैरह होते हैं, रेडी टू ईट पैकेट्स होते हैं, योगर्ट हम खाते हैं, फ्लेवर्ड वाटर जो होता है। तो ये सारे चीजों में हमें शुगर मिलती ही है, जो हमारे गट को इफेक्ट करता है। एंड व्हाट आर द अदर फैक्टर्स अदर दैट विल अफेक्ट योर गट? जनरली सैलड ड्रेसिंग्स, वी हैव हेल्दी सैलड्स, बट ड्रेसिंग्स जो होता है दैट ऑप्शन कैन बी हाई इन फैट। प्रोसेस्ड स्नैक्स यानी ब्रेड है, पास्ता है, जो भी मैदा वाला चीजें है, जो पैकेट्स में आता है, फ्रोजन चीजें आती है। सो मेनी प्रोसेस्ड फूड क्लेम्स टू बी लो फैट बट दे आर हाई इन शुगर कंटेंट। फिर ग्रेनोला बार्स एंड एनर्जी बार है, उसमें भी बहुत सारा हिडन फैट्स होता है। वी हैव शुगर फ्री आइसक्रीम्स एंड शुगर फ्री कुकीज, बट देर इज ऑलवेज अ स्वीट, इट्स ऑलवेज स्वीटेंड विद सब्सटीट्यूट, आर्टिफिशियल स्वीटनर उसमें डाला जाता है। देन रेस्टोरेंट मील्स, पार्टीज, वेडिंग्स, ये सारे चीजों में हमारा हिडन फैट्स आता है। एंड डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स जो प्रोसेस होने के लिए, डाइजेस्ट होने के लिए काफी वक्त लग जाता है। व्हाट इज द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ हाई शुगर फूड ऑन गट हेल्थ? देर इज एन इम्बैलेंस इन गट बैक्टीरिया, बिकॉज आपका जैसे ही बैक्टीरिया चेंज होता है, आपके बहुत सारे साइड इफेक्ट्स बॉडी में शुरू हो जाते हैं। विल सी द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड, व्हाट डज अ अनहेल्दी गट लीड टू? देर इज डिसरप्शन ऑफ गट मोटिलिटी। जनरली इंटेस्टाइन का कैसा होता है कि नेचुरली वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है, रिलैक्स होता है, और वो जो कॉन्ट्रैक्शन मूवमेंट होता है उसमें आपका फूड पैसेज होता है, पास होता है थ्रू द नेक्स्ट लेवल एंड टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल, एंड फाइनली इट इज the the digested unwanted food is removed out from the, it's in the form of stools. So ये जो मोटिलिटी है उसमें वो sluggish हो जाता है आपका gut, and then you feel constipated, you feel bloated, and then you want to have some laxative to have the morning routines clear. And increased risk of gut dysbiosis, यानी आपके जो बैक्टीरिया है वो इम्बैलेंस होता है, अनफ्रेंडली बैक्टीरिया ज्यादा हो जाता है, फ्रेंडली बैक्टीरिया कम हो जाता है, देर इज रिजल्टिंग इनटू अ वेट गेन। सो जनरली 15% बैड बैक्टीरिया होना चाहिए, 85% गुड बैक्टीरिया होना चाहिए, बट ड्यू टू द लाइफस्टाइल एंड द फैक्टर्स दैट वी saw in the last screen, it has become opposite. 85% is now bad bacteria and 15% is good bacteria. And that unhealthy gut will lead to joint, heart, brain problems. It will lead to skin issues. Your immunity will weaken. Your mood, stress, and sleep will be disrupted. And digestion, metabolism, energy craving, weight gain, everything is on the par. So what is an unhealthy gut versus a healthy gut? Unhealthy gut में आपका फूड सेंसिटिविटीज होता है, ब्लोटिंग आफ्टर एवरी मील, इनकंसिस्टेंट stools and excess gas, you feel better not eating, your skin imbalance, it's like you go through eczema, acne, sleep disturbances, constant fatigue, tired, adrenals, mental health imbalance, weakened immune system. And if you have a healthy gut, you can tolerate most foods. There is limited or no bloating, the consistent solid stools, little gas, feel fueled after eating, the skin is glowing, you sleep throughout the night, energy is consistent, less depression and anxiety, and less illness and seasonal allergies, even asthma. So why 10 days gut reset? That is the question. कि gut reset के लिए why you need a 10 days? Because generally हम लोग जो भी खाना खाएंगे वो it will take 5 days to be excreted, to be metabolized and to be digested by our gut. It takes 5 days. So first 5 days जो हमारा होगा उसमें we will follow a vegan diet, as Janki said. All instructions will be given. But first 5 days that we eat, those 5 days will take care of the earlier 5 days that you have eaten. So we are not considering that, but we will follow a vegan diet pattern. Then it will take a week to implement the detoxifying, the supplements that we will need. So it will detoxifying and it will work on your colon, and then it will be shown the results. So the above mentioned sequence need time duration of 7 to 10 days to follow the process as per the healthy weight living program. Yeah. Yeah. So generally what we will do is we will make a there will be a Google link that will be floated in the group. So all those who wish to do this gut reset, first thing they will have to fill that Google link, and you will have to mention everything that is asked, your health concern, your height, weight, and everything will be asked. So you will do that. Second is, we just need two supplements in this process, 10 days gut reset, that we will guide you what you have to go for. That is fiber and pre and probiotics, because these two supplements make the colony of gut bacteria along with the food that we will be recommending. So this will help you to change the gut bacteria. And the third thing is, once you are, you're filling the Google form and you're ready to start with the gut reset, we'll guide you everything, and then we'll make WhatsApp groups. It will be like, 7 to 8 people in one group with me, Janki, and one of the medical doctor as well for medical guidance if we need it. So uske baad, everybody will need, I mean, all instructions will be given in that particular group, what you have to eat, what quantity you have to eat, what you have, what are the do's, what are the don'ts, everything will be given. And every day you have to, post your meals, and every day your nutrients will be diagnosed. Every day it will be considered, what is the protein that you have taken, what are the parameters, and what is the quantity that you have taken, and you will be guiding through the 10 days. यानी एक एजुकेशन साथ में रहेगा, ताकि गट रीसेट के बाद आप ऑटोमेटिकली एक हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल फॉलो कर सकते हो. So that's all, and whoever is interested, who will be joining, will guide you further in that. So thank you so much, Janki. Back to you.
Thank you, Amisha, for sharing so many details about gut reset. So, guys, I want to ask you, how many of y'all are keen to do the gut reset? And just give me a yes or a thumbs up in the chat box. I wish right now I knew how to do the polls and all. I would have run a poll to quickly check how many of y'all are keen. But that's too much for me to figure out in the live meeting. So just put a yes in the chat box or a no if you are not interested. Awesome. Okay, so I see a lot of you are interested, and I'm very excited simply because I saw amazing benefits in my energy levels, my moods. And the good part is, Amisha and her team are extremely supportive. So they will answer all your questions, they will give you all the information. And what I loved about Amisha's style was, it's not just do this because of this, and the alternatives are this. So there's a lot of educating that happens, right? You'll understand why you should eat protein at a certain time of the day, why they're asking you to take probiotics, what are complex carbs, what is this, what is that. So this is basic education which we should have been taught in school, but we were not taught in this way. So at least we're learning it now, right? So I'm going to be floating a form after today's meeting. Whoever wants can register. Once you register, and before we start, there will be some products which you will have to purchase. And after that, on the 15th, your 10 days starts, right? So everything will be explained to you. No worries. And I'm very excited. Again, thank you. Oh, poll is live. Can you guys see the poll? I can't see the poll, okay? Can you all see the poll? Please answer the poll. Why can't I see the poll? Okay, never mind. Please answer the poll. It's, I think, live for 15 to 30 seconds, I think. And whoever answers, we're going to capture this data and we're going to reach out to you with the details of how to go forward. Again, let me tell you, this is an absolutely gut-changing program, life-changing program, and I would like to see you there. Okay, awesome. So is the poll still live? Is everybody done? Has everybody answered? Just tell me. Okay, so almost 68% people are responding. 70% have said yes, they want to already join. People who have not responded, please say the poll. And if you are not getting access to the poll, just put a yes in the chat box. Awesome. Now, let's jump into today's topic, how to be kinder to yourself. Okay, so guys, how many of y'all, as I said, are always critical? And a lot of you said we are critical of ourselves. I would like to ask you this very interesting question. When you are being critical of yourself, have you realized you sound like someone very specific? Think about it. That voice in your head. Who do you sound like when you're being critical, reprimanding yourself, being hard on yourself? Just think for a few seconds. Who am I sounding like when I'm saying these things to myself? Your tone, your voice. trust me, you will be able to spot it. And I can see some answers are coming. Someone says, I sound like my sister. I sound like different people for different situations. Mother, grandmother. Yes. Who do you sound like? Your teacher when you were 2 years old, your mom. Yes, yes, yes. So, this is what I want you to realize. Children by themselves are not critical of themselves. It is when we as parents keep criticizing, correcting, that voice starts getting internalized, whether it's your mom, your dad, your teacher, your elder sibling, someone who used to correct you a lot in childhood. What we do is, because we've been corrected over and over, after a period of time, we're so afraid somebody is going to correct us. So before they can correct us, we internalize that voice and we start correcting ourselves in the head, right? And slowly, slowly, because we've been doing it over and over, it becomes a habit. And that is also one of the habits, like we discussed in the call yesterday, right? We never let ourselves rest and sit and chill, because again, there's a voice saying, no, you should not be chilling. You should be doing more work. How can you sit? There's so much work left. So, somewhere or the other, we learn to internalize that critical voice from other people. And that over a period of time then became our voice. And now it's become a permanent voice. And unfortunately, if we're not mindful, we're going to pass it on to our children as well, right? How many of y'all are critical of yourselves but also critical of your children? Put a yes in the chat box. And if you're not critical, if you're a supportive, nurturing parent, definitely put a no in the chat box. I know it's been a journey for me to shift from being critical and worried and fearing to becoming a nurturing parent who has faith in myself and my children. But sometimes, yes, we do sway. So, yes, most of the people are saying, yes, I'm critical. A few are saying, no, I'm really happy to see that. And for the people who are saying, no, I just have a question. Are you not critical of yourself and not critical of your children, or are you critical of yourself but not critical towards your children? I'm correcting my son most of the times. I'm conscious. I'm not critical of my child, but I'm critical for myself. I'm supportive to my children. I try to be a nurturing parent, but I worry unnecessarily. Yes, 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 absolutely, absolutely. And I learned something beautiful, critical of myself, but not on my child. That's great. That's great that you are being able to give that, kind of kindness to your child, but why not to yourself, right? And how many of you would like to now learn how to be kinder to yourself as well? Give me a raise of hands. And guys, switch on your cameras. I would love to see more of you. Come on, switch on your cameras. Let me see you guys. Let me see you guys. Awesome. To all the people who have cameras on, hello. It's lovely to see you. So nice. So nice. Amazing. Hi. You look so lovely. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. So many of you are ready to learn how to, and let me share two things that really made me realize, and I will debrief for you later. But abhi ke liye, just listen to this story, okay? So every time I would be late from work, I would start beating myself up in my head, like, oh my God, I'm getting so late. Everybody's going to be so upset with me at home. How could you be so late? You needed to leave on time, and the chatter would start. And when I would enter my house, obviously, because I had been, creating all these negative thoughts about how I would be treated, how do you think I was treated? Exactly based on the script that was running in my head all this while. And people were like upset with me, like, why are you late? Even if I was just 15, 20 minutes late. Now, this went on for almost a decade after my marriage, right? I'm not even talking about stories pre-marriage because there are so many there, but I'm just talking this one incident specifically because this is after I had become mindful that my internal reality, my point of view creates my external reality, right? So I said, okay, Janki, if you're being critical of yourself and if that is creating the experience, from what you've learned, if you change your inner voice, the outer voice changes. How many of you think it's an experiment worth taking? If you change your inner voice, which is critical, people will start becoming more supportive towards you. Okay. So I said, let's do this. I'm somebody, the minute I learn a concept, I want to apply it to myself. I want to do all the research. Then I want to give it to all my tribe. Okay. So I said, this is something I definitely have to research. So I sat with myself. I went through a whole process where I wrote down all the points of views I had about being late. Being late doesn't only being late means not taking care of your responsibilities, not prioritizing your family, means your children you're ignoring, means you're a bad mother, means you don't care enough, you're very selfish. Just being late has a lot of levels and definitions that we start attaching to it in our heads. So I sat, I wrote all those things down, that what does being late mean to me? And I wrote, being late, I have interpreted as I am a bad mother. I don't care. My children are not my priority. My family is not priority. I'm, shirking away my responsibilities, blah, blah, blah. I wrote that whole list down. Then I sat and asked myself, is this really true? Are they really not a priority for me? Being 15 minutes late, is it something genuinely so big and so bad? And then I had to really sit and process the whole thing. After doing that whole processing, I asked myself one very important question, and this is something I want you to pay attention to. Would you like to know what it is? I asked myself, this whole line of thought, this whole paper that I have written, who does this belong to? This thought pattern, this voice, who does it belong to? And the people who've learned access with me, you'll know this is one of the tools of access consciousness. So I asked myself, who does this line of thought belong to? Of course, it belongs to all women, right? Like most women today who are working will feel guilty somewhere. But I realized primarily this belonged to my mom, and maybe, all the other women I had grown up to. My mom was always a working mom. So for 40 years, she worked at the RBI, and we're all super proud of her. But one of the, flip sides of being a working mom is you always face a lot of guilt. It's like a package deal. You're a working mom, guilt comes free. Okay. So my mom would, I think, always struggle with guilt that she was not doing enough, and which is why she stretched herself, would wake up at 5 o'clock, cook for the family, wake us up, send us to school, go to her work, come back, cook again, make us study, do homework again, dinner, and then crash. And like it was a never ending day for her. And I had always grown up seeing that. Now, even though I don't work a 10-hour day and I work only 4 hours a day, but that guilt was free with the working mom title. And then I realized, oh, this is my mom's guilt. And I said, cool, I'm going to return this to her and I'm going to have my own reality. And then I reframed. Yesterday somebody asked me, how do you change a pattern? I visualized that now when I'm coming home, everybody's like, oh, you must be so tired. Come, sit. Don't worry about the dinner. Everything is cooked. Tell us how was your day? What client did you have today? So I started visualizing a different outcome to me coming late. The old visualization was everybody bombarding me like, how can you be late? Why are you late? Don't you care about the family? Jaldi se, sab kuch, pending here. And now it was about, wow, you're late. You must be tired. Come, 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 sit. Don't worry. Food is made. Okay. I would visualize it every day. Every day I would see this happening. Guess what happened the next day? Nothing changed. Okay. In a week also, nothing changed. But by the 10th day, suddenly one day when I came home late, my mother-in-law came and told me, she said, oh, come, come, you must be so tired. Come sit. Food is ready. Tea is ready. Come have chai. And I was just like looking at her like in my head, I was like, oh my God, that is my script. This is exactly what I had written. And slowly over a period of time, I realized the reason she was being critical to me, and this is where I want you to pay attention, so lean in. The reason she was being critical of me in the past was because that was my inner voice. When I changed my inner voice, her voice changed. And I want you to write this down somewhere. People, the way they treat you is a reflection of how you treat yourself. People, the way they treat you, how they are to you, is a reflection of how you are with yourself. So if people are always very critical around you, always treating you like an idiot, isko kuch nahi pata, isko pucho hi mat. That is how you are treating yourself and thinking of yourself deep inside your heart. And if people are kind and nurturing towards you, if they're very respectful towards you, if they treat you like, oh my God, kuch bhi problem hai, isko pucho, she'll always have a solution. That's how you are seeing yourself. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Your point of view, your belief, your feelings creates your outer reality, right? Everything is a projection. It is a mirror. Yes, Anamika, thank you. Right? Is this clear so far? Okay. So awesome. Thank you. So, this is one thing I want you to realize. If you are critical, first thing, if you are critical of yourself, it's very likely that you picked it up in childhood from someone who was being critical.
Janki, can I say something?
Yes. Can I just do a recap and then you can share? Yeah. Just
Yeah.
give me a minute. Let me finish this. So, the first thing is it's you being critical of yourself is something you picked up along the way. If you see children, however they are messy, whether they do their homework, don't do their homework, they are very happy in their worlds. They don't, beat themselves up in their head. Shit, I should have done this. I should have done this. I should have said that. Why am I not looking good? How she's looking better than me? We teach them how to start comparing, how to feel not good enough. It is a taught, learned, conditioned behavior. And that is something we need to unlearn for us to be happier. And the trick is always remember if you spot it, you got it. The minute you spot yourself being critical, say, hey, stop. Okay, stop right now. Smile and say it. Don't get angry. Again, don't be critical. Oh my God, you're again being critical of yourself. Janki said, don't be critical. Don't be more critical. Okay. The minute you spot yourself being critical, what are you going to do first? Smile and pat yourself on the back. Like, yes, I spotted it. Just being able to spot it is amazing. First is awareness, right? Awareness changes everything. So the minute you spot it, you're going to say, cool, I spotted myself being critical. Now I'm going to change it, right? What would I love for somebody to say to me instead? I would love for them to say, hey, everybody makes a mistake. It's okay. Let me help you, right? Or stop beating yourself up. It's fine. No big deal. I can handle it. I'll be able to correct it easily. Don't make everything so serious, so dramatic and say, oh my God, ye sunne se pehle mere kaan kyun nahi, whatever. Don't get all dramatic, okay? Keep it simple. Now, and the third thing is very mindfully, you will have to keep visualizing and being kind to yourself the way you are expecting other people to be kind. So let's say in the beginning, the other person is still not kind to you. In your head, you will still say, Janki, it's okay. If you're late, you were just doing an honest day's job. You were with a client. You were not like, getting drunk somewhere. Even if you were, that's also fine. But you were doing a job somewhere. You were helping someone. You were healing someone. It's fine if you're late. I'm not mad at you. At least give yourself that love. Okay. And then slowly, you'll see when you start giving yourself love, people will treat you the way you treat you deep inside. People will treat you the way you treat you deep inside your subconscious mind. Okay. This is where also you'll have to remember that, yeah, on the face of it, consciously, we want everybody to treat us nicely. But if people are treating you badly, please look within. It is somewhere that you are doing this to yourself. They are merely a fill in the blanks. They are merely a
reflection of us.
reflection. Amazing. I love that. So, yes, Amita, you wanted to share something.
No, I just wanted to say this, Janki. I feel that I do a lot of self-beating, but others are not treating me like that.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
fact, they are very nice or encouraging and
yeah.
saying things to
And
the contrary. So that's where I'm
that's where you're and
struggling.
this is where then that means deep down you are okay, and this is just a drama you like to play out in your conscious
Okay,
mind. So deep down you are not
maybe.
critical of yourself, but it's just that again you're just used to this chatter and this line of thought, and you are like holding on to it. So this is where it'll be easier for you to be mindful of yourself and say, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just going to be nurturing or kind to myself as well. Right. And of course, if you're constantly beating yourself up, go a little deeper and just check, like, what is it that you want to do differently? Right. Because from the last time we spoke, and you're part of the 1 year inner circle program,
Yeah,
you had shared out there that, you are really doing most of the things right based on what we are
yeah,
learning. So then what is the problem? Maybe
Mhm.
it's just a habit you need to become mindful of and break, right? It's not a
Mhm.
deep sense of
Okay,
unworthiness,
I'll
right?
discuss with you in the other thing. What is it?
Yes,
Not
yes.
on this.
No worries, no
So
worries.
there I'll
Janki,
tell you.
Yes,
so
Thanks,
sorry to
Janki.
interrupt.
Thanks.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So,
Okay, so sorry to interrupt you, Janki. I have a follow-up on this.
yeah.
Like I want to ask you, so the moment you said, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, first of all. I want to ask you that, right now you said that the moment you step into the home, just think about something and, it might not happen on the first day, not on the seventh day, and then maybe on the 10th day, like it happened in your case. So, like, how do you actually remember one thing? Because you have like 100 things going on and you want all of those 100 things to change all of them together. So how do you manifest everything? Because the next day, one problem you forget it, and then the third day, a problem might change. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So that's an amazing, a very cute question, Ria. Thank you for asking. Here's what I would like you to understand, that once you catch yourself doing a certain pattern which you want to change, you will have to be mindful for it for a certain period of time, right? It's great to ask and forget, right? Every day you ask for a new thing, but if something is important for you to change, you will mindfully have to say, no, this is an inner voice which I'm changing. And this is where I would like you to understand this concept. Okay, so just look at my hand. So imagine this is a tree. Imagine these are
Yeah.
the fruits and leaves and branches, and this is of course the trunk, and then deep down are the roots. Now everything that's happening in your life are the fruits. How people are talking to you, how much money you're making, how people respect you or love you or not, the kind of opportunities you get, etc., right? All these life experiences happening are the fruits. If you want to change the fruits, which is like the 10,000 things that you want to change, you don't have to work at this level. I want you to work at the root level. Once you work on the root or the seed is only one, right? For a whole mango tree to grow and give you mangoes for thousands of years, you just need one good mango seed. So I want you to change the way you see yourself, your sense of self worth, the way you talk to yourself. That is the roots. Once you heal and correct that, everything will start changing. The way people are treating you, the kind of opportunities you're getting, the kind of love and respect you're getting, whether you get appreciated or complimented or criticized, all this is dependent on the root. So we are not working on the 10,000 things, we are just working on changing
Mhm.
the root. Does this
Yeah.
make sense?
Got it. Very well satisfied. Thank you.
So please remember, guys, I want you all to understand, we don't have to change, this and this and this and this. We just have to change one thing here, and that is how you are seeing yourself. So every part of this Women's Day series is just, I mean, it might look like 10 different topics on the top, but deep down, it's just, how are you seeing yourself? Are you seeing yourself as worthy, kind, beautiful, precious? Or are you seeing yourself as unworthy, not good enough, never will be enough, nobody loves me, nobody supports me? All that is ultimately going to boil down to just that core belief, right? That I'm again addressing from different angles, but ultimately I'm addressing the same core belief. All right.
Uh, Ma'am, I have a question.
What's your name?
Namita. I'm
Namita.
Namita,
Hi,
ma'am.
Namita. Guys, camera on karo yaar. I'd love to see you guys.
Sorry,
I mean, all
I was
these
having
new
my dinner, so
faces.
that's why.
No worries. All these new faces,
Sorry.
and I don't get
So,
to see you. I don't like it, but yeah, never mind. Yes, Namita.
yeah, so ma'am, my question was like, it's good to have self-love and self-worth, but I've also seen some people who are a little, so full of themselves, like to the point of being a narcissist, that they have lost the touch with the reality. Like, for example, I mean, they overestimate their capabilities. They will ask for, salary packages which actually are not in conjugation with their skills and everything. This is on a professional front, but even in personal life, right? So I've seen people who are so full of themselves, overconfident, that about their capabilities and skills and everything, or what they're doing for other people, and they want to be treated in a certain manner.
So,
so
what's your
uh,
question?
so the question is that uh, it's fine to not sabotage yourself, or see have some self-worth, but isn't this an excess of it? I mean, even that is bad, right? Because you're
Yeah, of
not
course
having
it's
that.
bad. Of course it's bad. That's a no-brainer. Of course it's bad. I'm not telling you to become full of yourself. But we are talking about the people, वो zero line होता है, फिर 1 2 3 होता है, और -1 -2 -3. We're talking about coming from minus just to normal. We're definitely not talking about overdoing it, right? And here is where you need to be mindful. Let me tell you, even the people who are overdoing it are overcompensating, because narcissistic people deep down inside have a massive sense of self-worth, self unworthiness, and that they are projecting as, we are better than you, we are more superior, I am better. It's again a problem. So we have to be at a moderation level. If anyone is overdoing anything, it is coming from an unhealed space. A person who is healed in their self-worth will never try to feel better than others, or never make others feel lower than them, or themselves feel lower than others. If that is not happening, it's an unhealed space. Just remember that, right? And
Right.
your job is you. Don't worry about them. Your job is to,
Understood.
you are your own biggest project. We don't want to worry about the people who are behaving differently. That is their journey, their lookout. Someday they will get to it, or they will never get to it. Don't bother. You work on you. Okay?
Hey, hi Janki. I have a question.
Finally, I get to see your face. Hello. Hi, Aditi. Where are you joining from?
I am joining from Navi Mumbai.
How
Hi,
lovely.
Aditi.
Okay.
Guys,
This.
control. No, no crosstalk here. Yes, Aditi.
Um, yeah, hi, Janki. First of all, a very good session, loving it. And I just had one question, like from a very long time in my mind. I don't know if it's really related to this, but a lot of times what we are saying aajkal is, you have to love yourself, you have to be kind to ourselves, this and that. But sometimes I feel like, mm, does it, how to then push yourself, right? You can reach to that comfort level that I love myself. I don't want to work an extra hour today. I love myself. I don't want to go out of my way to do this. So, like, where is that line
Yeah.
and how do you identify?
That is a beautiful question. I love it, Aditi. And this is a question I used to ask myself a lot, because initially, again, when you start practicing self-love, self-kindness, self-compassion, कि आज मन नहीं है, अच्छा मत करो. You start becoming very lenient with yourself. But here's what I realized. And again, as I said, everything first, I have to try it on myself. And through my own journey, I realized that either I was being too lenient, or I was being harsh, right? And better lenient than harsh, number one. Because when you're being harsh, when you're being critical, when you're saying, "Are you're so stupid, you should have done this," no, push yourself, it's always got the risk of you puncturing more and more holes in your self-worth, in your confidence, which is already little damadole, as compared to being nurturing. Because here's the thing, okay, so let me tell you, it's about trust ultimately. So after this initial thing, I realized that after you've been too critical, if you start being too kind, yes, you'll take the liberties. It's like, if I tell my son, okay, and I did this experiment with them. I said, cool, we will eat whatever you want to eat. See, I explained to them, this is your body. Your body needs proteins, carbs, calcium, ye wo, and now you will decide what is a healthy meal for you. And I'm not going to tell you, I want you to choose. Obviously, for the first whole day, every meal they said, we want ice cream, we want Maggie, we want junk food. So when they've been controlled and you suddenly give them liberty, they will go, to the other extreme. But after a day or 2 days or 3 days, they'll be like, okay, I think now we need a little dal, roti, sabzi, chawal, salad. Like, so they will come to their senses. The pendulum will go from this extreme to this extreme, but ultimately it always settles comfortably in the middle. This is where you need to trust yourself that, yes, if I've been too harsh, I will go to being too lenient, but then I will settle in the middle, in that sweet spot where I'm just enough motivating, I'm just enough strict with myself. Okay, like we have a commitment to ourselves even to do this. Don't push it. But you'll also know when you're genuinely tired versus when you're just being lazy. This is where self trust starts building. So, yes, I went from being super critical to super lenient, ki kuch bhi mat karo, chalega. But then, because you also know now you are only answerable, responsible, and committed to yourself, you do come to that middle place where you'll say, no, I think I want to push myself here. So it's a voice that will come. But if you're constantly playing that critical game, you'll never let that responsible you come up. Because critical is always parent and irresponsible is always the child. So if it's always critical parent, irresponsible child conversation, where is the responsible adult going to come up? That needs some time. Once these two go away, the responsible adult will emerge. Okay. And
Actually, just one last question, like on related to this only. What I felt for a very long time is, my worth is about how good grades am I getting or not, what I'm achieving in life. If I'm not achieving, then, so I don't understand. People say you're the successes and all, but then what are you really? Like, what's your worth? Like, how do you define your worth? And why do people keep saying you are worthy, you are worthy? What's the differentiator? Like, if not your material success, then what is it?
Yeah, you tell me.
I don't know, still figuring out, because I think that's what you introduce yourself. Okay, I've done this, I've done that, I come from here.
That's actually a beautiful thing, because if you are not what you do, if you are not your gender, if you are not your age, if you are not your religion, caste, country, if you are not defined by all those external things, then who are you? And then what is the point of you, right? That's a whole spiritual journey. And I think I will say I was honored that I am self-realized, in which case I have realized who am I really. But I think that's not the topic for today. It's a topic very close to me and I love talking about it. But if I get into that, I promise you this call will go on for 3-4 hours.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So, but it's a journey I would love for you to make, Aditi, and each one of you on this call, explore that question, right? Why am I worthy? If I don't have to go by all the things I've achieved, not my marks, not the money I make, not the house I live in, not the country, city, posh area, this area, that area, if all of that I had to remove, then what am I and why am I worthy? Right? Start asking that question and looking within. And the day you get it, your answer, which comes from inside you, it'll change your world, right? So explore it. And of
Thank
course, I'm sure if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out, whether through another workshop, which is dedicated to on this, or a one-to-one session. Feel free to connect there, because I would love to help more and more people. So generally, when I do the executive coaching sessions, this is the fundamental thing that we work upon, and it is super fun. So yes, thank you for asking. Yes, please raise your hand and ask me a question, digital hand, because I know a lot of comments have been coming in the chat box, but it'll be very difficult for me to keep tracking it. So if you have a question, I would love for you to raise your hand and ask me. Question? Okay. Yes, Lela.
Yes, Janki, I wanted to know that when you say about disciplining, loving yourself, then where does discipline comes into the picture?
That's what I said, right, Lela? Initially, when you've been very, very critical and you are pushing yourself. Now, please realize, even when we are being critical of ourselves, right? If being critical was the thing that was going to make everyone successful and everyone happy, we would have already been successful and happy, because we all have a PhD in criticizing ourselves, okay? But critical is, maybe it's making you a little successful, but it's definitely not making that success feel sweet, right? Because at the end of the day, your inner self is still feeling unworthy, right? This is something I want you to understand, and I will address the discipline question. Please remember, when you are starting a journey, let's say towards making money or towards losing weight, it could be anything. But if at the start of your journey there is a negative feeling, which means, like, I'm fat and that's not good enough, so I want to be thin, or I'm fat and that's just horrible, nobody loves me because I'm fat, so I want to be thin, maybe then people will love me. So that's a negative thing. Or I'm poor, I hate it, that's why I want to make a lot of money. Or I'm poor, nobody respects me because of that, I have no power, I have no say, I have no standing, so I want to make money. So if your journey is rooted in a negative seed, that negativity will keep growing into that tree. And no matter how much weight you lose, how much money you make, I have clients who come from like the billionaire families of business families in India, and even after making those billions, they still feel the fear of poverty. They still feel unworthy from inside, because when they started their journeys, unfortunately, that is what was pushing them. So, yes, that critical voice helped them stay committed and disciplined, and they pushed, and they did everything they could to make money or lose weight, but it doesn't bring them happiness. So, where does discipline come into self love? When you truly love yourself, you will be able to commit to yourself for the right reasons. That I want to lose weight because I would feel more energetic. I will feel more, just I'm good and I want to be better. Not I'm not good, so I want to be good. I'm already good, okay enough, and I would love to be better. That's where you push yourself. And when you see yourself as worthy, when you love yourself, you are now pursuing those goals for the right reasons. And then discipline comes very naturally from inside instead of the critical voice from outside in, right? So when you are practicing true self love, discipline is the easiest thing, because now you'll not feel like eating junk food. You'll not feel like hanging out with people who are not nurturing or toxic to you. You'll love the company of good people who uplift you. You love working out. You love eating right. So discipline will actually become very, very natural. Does that help, Lela?
Yes, Janki, thank you so very much.
But that was an awesome question. Thank you for asking. Yes,
Welcome.
Yalini. Yalini, you've raised your hand.
Hello, ma'am. Good
Hi.
evening.
Good
I'm
evening.
so sorry. I wouldn't be able to switch on my camera. Actually, my wisdom tooth got extracted and it's swollen like the right side of it. It's
No
was
problem. No
now.
problem, Yalini. Ask.
Okay. And ma'am, thank you for conducting this series. First of all, it's great. Yeah, and I got one question. I used to be, as a child, I used to be very inferior about myself. Like, I used to have inferiority complex. So, what I did is, I ended up becoming a people pleaser. I mean, all of this happened unintentionally and unconsciously. Okay. I used to think that if someone is being my friend, then it's not like friendship, but it is more like, they are doing me a favor and I should do something in return. So all of this happened, and right away I understood all the patterns and everything. But now that I got to understand all of it, now I sometimes get hard on myself and why did I do that, or how can I do such things, or how can I let people do these things to me. So all of these things I keep asking myself, and sometimes I become so guilty and regret things and also become very harsh on myself. But I have also seen this, that if when it comes to others, if someone else is complaining to me, I'll be giving them very much good advice,
Yeah,
this
yeah. A
happens all the
lot of
time.
love. Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to me, I am like super hard on myself. So
So what
I
is your
was,
question?
yeah, like how to forgive myself or how to accept,
How to?
yeah.
That is a great question. And thank you for asking that, Yalini. So how about I take all of you through this process live as a group healing, where we learn how to speak kindly and not beat ourselves up when we realize we're doing something we shouldn't be doing, but to be nurturing. Shall we do this? Would you like to give me a yes in the chat box? Let me see. There was a comment which came in. I'm also super hard to myself. Okay. Please share your tools and methods to heal yourself. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Yes, 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 ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Awesome. Okay. I love the enthusiasm. Okay. So I would like you all to put away everything, your books, notebooks, everything that y'all are using to make notes. Sit in a comfortable space. I'm going to take you through a guided meditation, but it's also a process on how to practice self compassion, right? So let's quickly dive in. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and as you breathe in deeply and slowly, feel the air filling your lungs. Feel your body rising and falling gently. Feel the rhythm, feel the peace, and put your hand on your heart, put a hand on your belly, connect with your body, feel the peace in this moment. As you feel the peace, think of the last time you made a mistake. When you screwed up, it could be a big thing, it could be a small thing. But think of the last time that you made a mistake and then you were very critical of yourself. And you were beating yourself up, saying, how could you be so silly? Or why did you do this? Or you should have known, or something or the other. You were constantly bashing yourself up. And as you are bashing yourself up, I want you to imagine that critical person who's doing the bashing and the little you who is sitting there feeling really bad about themselves, maybe crying, maybe feeling resentful and bitter, but just feeling so upset. And as you see these two people, I want you to imagine that this critical person has a remote control that you can use to start lowering the volume till it goes on zero. Like just press the remote, lower the volume, lower the volume, lower the volume till it becomes zero. And as that volume becomes zero, I want you to now look at the other you, the younger, smaller you that is so upset. And I want you to go and sit next to this younger you. And as you sit next to this younger you, I want you to also call that critical person, that maybe the critical parent or somebody, the critical voice that was there. Tell them also, come and sit on this side of me and just listen for some time. And I want you to look at the younger you, the one that is upset and crying. And I want you to say, hey, I know, I understand that you made a mistake. I know you didn't intend for it to turn out this way. I know you were trying your best. Maybe it backfired. Maybe you didn't really think things through very carefully for whatever reasons. Maybe you goofed up intentionally, unintentionally. I don't care. I just want you to know it's okay. It's no big deal. I'm not mad at you. I know your intention was not to do something bad. If it didn't work out, mm, sucks, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I trust you. I love you. I believe in you. I know there is goodness in your heart. I'd like you to focus on what you learned. What will you do differently next time instead of just focusing on what you did wrong this time? Put your hand around this younger, scared, upset you and just like hold them in a very like a big sister or a big brother kind of way where they feel safe, they feel loved, they feel accepted, they feel like it's okay, they've got my back. Maybe they're feeling scared because of their mistake. Maybe they're feeling guilty deep inside. They're already feeling like I'm an idiot, but just make them feel like, hey, I'm here. I'm going to take care of you. We've got this. Yeah, like don't do it next time, but I'm not going to beat you up for it. It's fine. Even I've made a lot of these mistakes. It's okay. This will pass. Right? And as you see this younger you calming down, hopefully smiling and feeling better. Are they smiling and feeling better? Just give me a nod of your head. Yes? Okay. And now I want you to talk to that critical voice. Visualize them maybe as a parent, maybe as someone who was always reprimanding you. And as you turn towards them, while still holding the hand of that younger you, tell them that, hey, I know you're worried. I know you're just trying to protect us from failure. I know you deeply care about us, which is why you're shouting and trying to make sure we avoid mistakes, never make any mistakes. But I want you to know we've got this. I want you to know I do appreciate your caring, but this doesn't help. So could you please relax? I've got this. I know you're just looking out for me. I know you want to protect me from failure, from the big bad world. And I know somewhere this is a projection of all the mistakes you may have made in your life. But hey, A, I'm going to make my own mistakes. B, I'm going to learn from them mindfully. C, I trust me that I've got this, and I trust the both of you. The younger me, the one that's possibly looking like we made the mistake, the older me that's probably criticizing me, all of us together, when we integrate our energies in a loving way, I know we've got this. So can you please trust me? Look them in the eye. Roll back your shoulders, straighten up, and very, very firmly but gently tell them, I need you to trust me. I might not have all the answers, but I know that criticism and being harsh is not the answer for sure. So let's find another way to get this done, but no more critical passion, right? And now check in. How do these two parts of you feel? The little child that was being bashed up, and the adult, critical adult in you that was doing the bashing, and the you that is sitting in the middle, integrating these two parts of you. How do you feel inside? How does your body feel in this moment? How is your breathing in this moment? Be mindful of your body. Remember, the younger part of you is to be loved just as much as the older critical part of you is to be loved, because both are parts of you and you can't leave them. You have to take them along with lots of love. You have to be compassionate to the younger you and that older adult critical you. Okay? Now, if there's any heaviness, stiffness in any part of your body, I'm just going to make you chant the Ho'oponopono prayer to yourself, to your body. And as you chant it, look at that specific part of you where you are feeling that heaviness. Maybe your back, maybe your shoulders, maybe your heart, maybe your throat, maybe your head. And let's chant the prayer together. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Keep taking deep breaths. Continue to chant this prayer. Mindfully watch everything that's happening in your body. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. 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 I love you. I love you. And 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 I love you more than you will ever know. And I'll always have your back. With a deep breath, I want you to smile at your body. Smile at all those two different parts of you. With a lot of gentleness, get into a group hug. You and the younger you and the older you. And just hold each other, knowing that ultimately deep down, each of you is just trying to protect, just trying to survive, just trying to be safe. And now you are going to consciously and mindfully be there for each other, lovingly. And as you're hugging, watch all these three integrate into one. You're a little more whole and complete as you integrate these different voices in your head with love, with compassion, with a lot of mindfulness. Knowing that the next time your mind tells you you're not good enough, you're fat, you're not already successful, why don't you already have a boyfriend or girlfriend, why you're not already married, why you're going to recognize that critical voice as merely the one that's trying to protect you, push you, motivate you. Smile and say, okay, I hear you. We'll get there. No need to get critical. Relax. I know you care, but this is not the way, right? And you will gently hold their hands, integrate them just the way we did right now. You will do this process again till you feel calm and centered in your body. Take 3 deep breaths, and as you inhale, visualizing inhaling love. As you exhale, let go of all that need to protect myself and be safe, knowing that I've got my back. I trust myself. I don't have to be overly alert and critical. I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. And I know you really have got this, each one of you out here. Amazing. So you can open your eyes gently whenever you're ready. And come back. Does that help? So this is the process you will follow. When you find yourself being very, very critical, you will stop, take a pause, connect with yourself, see this part of you, see this part of you, help them become friends again, right? So yes, would anyone like to share how you're feeling? How was the experience?
Thank you so much, ma'am. I didn't expect this. Like, it was truly amazing, and I was actually like, having tears of joy because, as you said, that I always used to be very critical towards my critical side, but for the first time ever, I showed compassion and love to it, and it felt amazing. And one thing really touched my heart that, all of these versions are only trying to protect me, which is very true. Thank you so much for making me realize, and it's truly beautiful. I'll definitely practice this, like whenever I could. Thank you.
Amazing. And Yalini, thank you. I think the whole group is going to thank you for this question because you asked, everybody could benefit, right? So, guys, this is the power of group work. This is the power of being part of a community. One person asks a question and everybody can benefit. And I'm seeing so many comments in the chat box saying, thank you. It was awesome. Feeling super peaceful. Thank you so much. It was awesome, feeling light, feeling super peaceful. Group healing is awesome. Awesome. So many, so many, so many comments. Love you guys. Yes, Pratibha, ask your question. And this is possibly the last question we're taking for today. We will again see you tomorrow with another fun topic called the elegance of being a bitch. And this is one of my favorite topics. But yes, Pratibha, over to you. Ask your question.
Hello, ma'am. Actually, it was a very, very nice experience in doing this meditation. But I just want to ask you, this time we actually tried our calm ourselves down when we are criticizing ourselves. Okay. What we can do when somebody else purposefully criticizing ourselves and we are getting too much worried about them? They're continuously trying to put us down and trying to make us do something that we don't actually want to do in public, like shouting or something. But they're purposefully doing some negative things against us. How can we handle that?
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Again, fantastic question, Pratibha. Thank you for asking that. So, yes, you can decide to be nice to yourself, kind and compassionate to yourself, but people will be people, right? And, they're all busy in their own worlds, in their own lives, struggling with their own battles and own insecurities. So, yes, more likely than not, somebody or the other will come along and, trigger you or shout at you or be critical or push you towards doing, saying, or feeling something that you might not be comfortable with. And that is exactly where there are two ways to respond. Firstly, externally, you will do whatever you need to do to protect yourself, which means if you have to tell them, draw a very firm boundary and say, guys, like, or whatever, just stop. This is not okay for you to talk to me like this. If you're angry about something, we can talk about it later. Right now, you're very triggered, or I'm getting triggered, and I would not like to have this conversation right now. If they're not willing to listen and if they're constantly bashing you, it's okay for you to leave and exit that scenario. If that is not possible for you to exit, and if you are, let's say, your boss is shouting at you or something, and you're, like, you don't want to leave because that might just get you fired or something, and while you're standing there, I want you to just have that self compassion towards yourself, that it's okay whatever they're saying. So it's again you, the nurturing you, talking to the one that's getting affected, saying, hey, don't worry, I think they're just having a bad day. Whatever's going on, it's not your fault, or if it is your fault also, you don't deserve to be bashed like this. It's okay, let them finish, we'll process this later. And you just allow yourself not to get more triggered. I know, and I'll tell you from practice, it's possible for you to do this. It does require some building the muscle of not taking it personally. Don't take it personally, Janki. Don't take it personally, Janki. Don't take it personally. This is not about you. Leave it, leave it. So you'll have to process it. But in that moment, do the best you can. If you can walk away, do that. If you can end it and say, listen, let's talk when we're both in the right frame of mind, do that. If you're standing there and you have to listen, remind yourself, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. And inside your head, you will tell yourself, listen, I'm not mad at you. Whatever they're saying, it's coming from whatever they are going through. It's not a reflection of you, right? So you will have to be doubly sure and supportive of yourself when someone else is definitely not in the mood to be kind to you. Okay, which and you'll have to also hold space for that part of you which is saying, I'm feeling shit, oh my god, I should have just done that. And you'll say, listen, it's okay, maybe you made a mistake. Anyone can make a mistake. So whatever's the kindness that you're expecting from the other person, you'll start giving it to yourself. Whatever is that love or understanding you're expecting from the other person, you will start giving it to yourself. Okay. So, Pratibha, people will continue to be whatever is going on in their world. You be kind to you, irrespective. Okay. And if you're being critical to yourself and you spot it, be kind to that critical part of you, because that critical part of you is also just the worried part of you, right? It's just the scared part of you that, like, really just wants to protect you in the future from this. Okay. So does this answer your question, Pratibha? Okay. 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 Pratibha saying yes and thank you in the chat.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Awesome. So, guys,
Thank
this is
you.
something I would like you all to understand. I would like you all to understand. It's very easy for me to sit here and give you this gyan. And while you're seeing me give this
Yes.
gyan, please know it has taken me 7 years of practicing self-kindness every single day mindfully. There were days where I beat myself up. There were days where I felt completely unworthy. There were days where I went back on everything I was trying to do, but you keep at it. And next day you say, okay, today I'm going to give it another shot. And okay, today I'm going to give it another shot. And slowly that muscle will build. Just like you go to a gym, you don't get abs in a day. It will probably take 1 or 2 years, right? So you will have to keep putting in the work, whether you see results or not. But every bit of mindfulness, self compassion, love, kindness that you practice with yourself is helping you build your muscles. And the more you practice, the easier it gets, right? So initially, if you're thinking 100 kilos ka weight uthana hai, you start with 2 kilos. For a whole month, you do 2 kilos, then you go to 2.5 kilos, then you go to 3 kilos, 5 kilos, 10 kilos, and it'll be a journey till you reach 100. When you'll do 100, the people who are at 2 kilos will look at you and say, yaar, how is she doing it so cool? You've put in the work. Okay, likewise, I've put in the work. If you start today, a year from now, even you will, which is why in my happiness programs I made it a year long program. I did a lot of 1 week programs, 1 month programs. Ultimately, I said no, you need a year to build that muscle of happiness, love, self compassion, mindfulness, kindness, abundance, which is why now all the programs are long term programs. But it was a journey that I had to make to realize ki at least एक साल चाहिए. The people who have been with me for a year know their life has completely changed. I mean, I can see so many of you here, Amita, Anisha, so many of you are complete turnarounds from being super critical and unhappy with themselves to being super supportive and happy with themselves. So this works. Put in every day little work and you will get there. Okay. So I'm again going to have to say it's past 10 o'clock. My children are waiting, so I'm not going to continue the call today. But I know y'all have a question. We will
Just
be
can
making
I,
a list of the questions. Sorry, Sakshi, are you saying something? Sakshi, hi.
yes, ma'am, I'm Sakshi only, ma'am. I changed this template to Sakrishi because since childhood I was thinking that Krishan ji is my best friend. So now to move to happiness, I want to build that confidence again. So that's why I changed the name. And ma'am, just one thing I want to ask you, ma'am, जो आपने करवाया ना that connecting to our childhood critical, adult critical, and the middle one, that is good. Like we मतलब try to compensate कि हाँ कुछ गलतियां होती हैं दूसरों से भी होती हैं. But ना मैम अपने आप को माफ कर देते हैं. I've seen that sometimes we forgive ourselves, but when it is a mistake of others, like my present story, but in childhood, so there was a little trauma. So today I was feeling okay because these days I'm trying to transform myself, but उस trauma में भी मेरे एक relative की ही mistake थी. It was a kind of a child abuse.
Don't do that, no? I can't hear you, Sakshi. You've gone on mute.
Okay, I don't know who has put me on mute.
Yeah. So,
Did you listen that in my childhood there was a issue in childhood also?
yeah.
Like, I've been in a loving family, but I would say like my father is a second father. So I have seen child abuse, and that time मुझे अपनी बैक की कोई mistake नहीं दिखी. यही mistake दिखी कि maybe at that age when I was in sixth and seventh, I was not able to realize in the beginning that what is happening to me. But my mother, because she was going to job in a bank, and when she used to came home, and when my father stopped doing abuse, and but then also if my father is sitting with me and doing a normal chat or asking normally what happened in school, what do you want to become, Sakshi, what
So,
subject.
so what is
So
your question, Sakshi?
actually question is ki if we go in past and if the past is painful, so how do we forgive others and ourselves? Because sometimes
So
uh,
I think here what is
for
required,
ourselves but दूसरों
what
के
is
लिए.
yeah. So what is required more than anything with forgiveness? Forgiveness is one of the most strongest acts of self-kindness because when you're not forgiving others, you are punishing yourself before others, right? Something that happened 30 years ago, if you're still thinking about it and holding on, that is unkindness to yourself, right? So when you will start becoming that person who's talking to that child, and you will have to say, listen, it's okay, whatever happened, I acknowledge the feelings, acknowledge and validate that yes, you went through some abuse or trauma, but at the end of the day, today everything is fine. Let's focus on the today and not keep living from that of thing of the past, right? That is a choice, which is why they say happiness is a choice, forgiveness is a choice, healing is a choice, peace is a choice. It's where you have to consciously build the muscle not to fall for the trauma drama and say I'm choosing happiness today, right? So ho'oponopono is the best and easiest way. We do have a class that teaches us ho'oponopono. I do teach ho'oponopono and access, of course, but that I will share details of separately, and whoever's interested can log in. But right now, I would say thank you for asking. Forgiveness is a topic which I have not covered in this, but maybe we'll do another call on forgiveness at some point in time. But thank you, right? So, coming back to our topic, guys, please remember, if you are talking to yourself unkindly inside your head, people are going to reflect that. If you are talking kindly and people are talking unkindly, please remember, it is still a reflection of you. And if you are critical but people are nice to you, that is also a reflection of you. So your inner world creates your outer world. Your point of view creates your reality. If you change your point of view, it changes your reality, right? And everything, as I said, is a choice. So start choosing to be more loving and compassionate to yourself. And when you make a choice, when you start practicing it, the whole universe conspires to help you and support you on that journey, right? So lots of love. Take care, stay safe, keep smiling. Remember, you are awesome. And I'm going to see you tomorrow to discuss a very beautiful topic, the elegance of being a bitch. Okay, so stay tuned for tomorrow. See you guys. Be on time, 8:45 sharp. All right. Bye, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.